Hi, John.
All right.
Thank you for coming to BOCES and telling our students all about what you have to offer at the Department of Labor. So please introduce yourself and tell me about the Department of Labor.
My name is John Tully. I'm an Associate Business Services Representative for the New York State Department of Labor. My unit, in addition to coming to job fairs to advertise Department of Labor services, we work with businesses to help them find people to fill their positions. Uh, and the Department of Labor has a number of different missions are really that really boil down to connecting job seekers to employment. Most people know about unemployment insurance, but one of the unfortunately the best kept secret of what we offer are services at our career centers. Uh, Across the state, we have offices, usually at least one in every county, where anybody can, at least before the pandemic, come in person, but now we offer services over the phone. Come in and get assistance finding a job, developing a resume, and developing their interviewing skills, anything they might need to help connect them to employment. And yeah, so
If I don't have a high school degree, does this also help me?
um, there's jobs out there for everybody. Even now in the pandemic, it's more difficult now, but there are jobs out there for everybody. If you have a high school degree, uh, there are a number of jobs that offer training. There are a number of jobs where that is enough to get you in the door, and from there, once you're working, really experience is more important than education. Uh, but it really, it depends on the job. We do actually work with a lot of businesses that offer apprenticeships. We have registered apprenticeship programs, uh, and a lot of those only require a high school degree. But it really depends on the business, and it depends on what you're looking to get into.
So, do you think my skills from BOCES is going to be helpful for me to try to find a job?
Oh, absolutely. Depending on what program you're in, a lot of manufacturing jobs will want any experience that you would have working in machine shops or with tools. Hospitality industry, once that gets back up and running, is going to have a need for chefs, cooks, basically anybody from front of house, back of house, management. Uh, to what are the other big programs you offer here?
Oh, we have cosmetology, we have
Oh,
carpentry, we have heavy equipment,
actually,
HVAC.
carpentry right now is huge. In Utica, especially, there's a lot of construction projects going on. The hospital, once things calm down again, the Nexus Center, uh, and we actually work pretty often with the Carpenters Union. They always need people, and any leg up you can get will help you advance from apprentice to journeyman uh, in that sequence. So the more training you have, the better,
Right.
and especially specialized training like you offer here will definitely help you get a leg up on somebody who has like no experience or just like a more general education.
Awesome. So that would also mean different salary ranges depending on how much skill I have, also, right?
Yeah, salary ranges are a bit all over the place right now. It's kind of with unemployment being before the pandemic, unemployment was very low, so wages were starting to rise. And now with the pandemic, it's still hard for businesses to hire, even though there are more people out there. So again, they have to compete by raising their wages. We've seen recently we just posted a job online. It was just a general cook job, not like a chef or anything like that, paying $19 an hour. It is temporary, but that never would have happened a year ago.
Right.
They started at $15 an hour, which also would have been unlikely a year or so ago. And we talked to them. We're like, listen, you have to. It's a competitive job market right now because it's hard to get people in, and they raised their wages. We also see a lot of distribution centers in this area that'll start people out anywhere in the $15 to $17 range, and they usually have an immediate wage progression. So once you're there a year, you've probably already gone up $1 or $2 an hour.
Great. Because that was my next question. There's obviously room for growth if businesses are looking to hire, and if I have a skill, I can certainly grow within a company and earn more money as we go along.
Yes, definitely. I mean, the better workers are the ones who get promoted. Your boss notices you when an opportunity comes up. The better the worker you are, you're more likely to be the first choice when they think about who do I want in that. And if you've been a good worker, they don't have the questions like when you're hiring a new worker, you don't know them. You don't know like, all right, is this person going to be showing up 15 minutes late every day? Is this person like going to get the work done quick but shoddy? So if they already know you, they know you're a known quantity to them, and if they think you can do the job, you're more likely to get it versus somebody off the street.
So if I come to say a county area to look for a job, do most places do any social media screening?
It all depends on the business. As an employer ourselves, New York State Department of Labor, I wasn't screened, and as far as I'm aware, we don't do screening. But a number of businesses might, depending on the size of the business, their PR worries. A lot of smaller businesses probably don't. So if you're looking to work at a mom and pop shop, they're probably not going to get online and find, actively search for you. But we're seeing a lot more services like background check services that they can hire. They just say, hey, I'm looking to hire this person. Here's their information. Tell me about them. And those services may end up trying to find you on social media, trying to determine, hey, is this person being responsible? So it's hit or miss sometimes. Usually they will let you know if they do some kind of background check. I would assume that background check also includes a social media search. But you're more likely to see that in bigger companies. So again, if you're just doing a little mom and pop shop, then you're less likely to. But either way, it's a good idea to make sure it's cleaned up because at some point your boss might friend you.
Exactly. So if I were looking for a job, do you think social media, Indeed or LinkedIn or any of those areas are good spots for me to look for jobs?
The best way to find it's great to look online for jobs and apply online, which is how a lot of businesses are. The best way to do it is networking. If somebody knows who you are, who works at the company, you're more likely to be interviewed, have a resume looked at. Sites like Indeed, even Facebook, or just regular face-to-face when we can do it more often. Face-to-face networking. We offer some competing services to Indeed and Monster, but you should use anything that works for you, whether it's our services, Indeed, Monster, or a combination of them. But if you can network with somebody at a business through one of those sites, you're more likely to get your foot in the door versus just filling out an online application, sending it off into nothing, and hoping that an HR staff reads it.
Right. So if I were to look for some jobs through the Department of Labor or in my local area, does it usually tell me if I need to purchase my tools and have a uniform for the job? Is that all part of my learning experience through going through the Department of Labor?
So when we post jobs, we do normally have a little checkbox on our computer program that says must purchase tools or not. It depends on the job. If you're looking at say a mechanic job, it's usually a good assumption that you're going to need to bring your own tools. But again, you can always ask the person doing it who's posting the job. So you can ask one of our staff if we posted the job. We also automatically post certain jobs. So if a business signs up on our website and they post something on their website, we can automatically pull it in if they sign up for that service. In that case, if you wanted to, we could reach out to the business for you and just say, hey, this job you posted, we're getting some interest in it. We had some questions. We didn't see anything about tool or uniform provisions. What are your policies on that? We can find out for you. You can also, most businesses, if you contact them, if they're hiring, you can just ask them. Or if you're being interviewed, when you get to the part where they say, hey, do you have any questions for us? You can ask about their policies if they didn't go over that.
Awesome. Well, those are all my questions. Is there anything that you have that's insightful or something for our students when they're watching this video that would be helpful to them in their future endeavors?
And be professional. No matter what your job, if you're turning wrenches and getting covered in grease all day, that doesn't mean you can't be professional. It's not just somebody who's going into an office in a shirt and tie every day. Be professional, network all you can, even if you already have a job. If you have a job and you're in the industry that you want, you may not find the promotions at the current business you're working at. So, say you're working at a car dealership, you probably interact with other car dealerships or other people in the industry. So keep those relations open in case you're looking either for promotion or something happens and you end up losing the job. You can have options. You have people that you can call instead of just, again, filling out a form online and hoping that somebody notices it. Basically, my best advice is network. Use any resource available to you, whether it's us at the Department of Labor, whether it's a online job board that's one of ours or not one of ours. If you've gone to school, a lot of different schools may have career offices that may have their own job postings. But the best way we find to get a job is through networking. So I would just keep up your network. Don't be afraid to ask. If you have a friend who works at a business that you're interested in, ask them, hey, can you let them know I'm looking for a job? Can you vouch for me? Can you talk to your HR staff? Or can you just let me know when there's an opening? So I think networking is probably the best and most underutilized tool in your arsenal, I guess, when looking for a job. Another way to do that, too, is once we can do in-person job fairs again, it's great to have face-to-face with an HR recruiter from a business. They can remember you. They can know, oh, this person came up and talked to me. They were professional. They were well put together. They knew what they were talking about. They're probably a good fit for this job. So network is my biggest piece of advice.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, John, and I appreciate your time and all of the great information that you're sharing with our students.
Oh, thank you for having me.